We will be visiting counties on continuous basis as a means of evaluating our national preparedness levels, because collectively counties have a greater capacity to attend to the sick. Their preparedness is key, because we don't want to get to a point where we find ourselves unable to cope with an overwhelming number of critically ill patients. Should this trend be the case and we are overwhelmed, we will only have two options, and we have seen these options globally: cooperate and survive, or ignore directives and suffer. The choice must be made by each person individually and communities collectively. Kwa hivyo, mimi ni wasihi wa Kenya, tafadhalini. Leo hii tumeona idadi ya watu ambao ni wengi zaidi kuliko hapo zamani, 123. Vile vile, mtaa wa Mathare ulikuwa na watu wengi zaidi, 33. Na hii ni kusema ya kwamba virusi iko kila pahali. Hakuna mtaa sasa ambao hauna hii virusi. Ni kusema ya kwamba idadi ya watu ambao ni wengi zaidi, rafiki yako yule mnatembea naye, pengine huyu sasa ako na virusi. Ile bahati tuko nayo ni kwamba hata wale ambao wameshika hii virusi si wengi sana, wako hatarini. Tumetupoteza watu 3 leo hii. Hao 3 walikuwa na ugonjwa tofauti, walikuwa na ugonjwa ingine tofauti, lakini ni kumaanisha ya kwamba ukiwa na shida fulani, ukiwa na hypertension, ukiwa na virusi zingine na upate hii Covid19, ni kusema uko hatarini zaidi. Kwa hivyo sisi kama Wizara ya Afya tutaendelea kusihi wananchi tufuate vile wadaktari wetu wanasema, tufuate yale masharti ambayo imewekwa na serikali, sana sana mambo ya kunawa mkono, mambo ya kuweka mask, mambo ya kukaa mbali kidogo na yule rafiki yako. Hata ukienda kutembelea mtu, si lazima mkae karibu sana, kaa mbali kidogo. Na pia saa hizo zote mnazungumza, wewe kuwa na mask na yeye awe na mask. Mheshimiwa Rais alisema juzi, akasema hatuwezi kuendelea na kufungia watu ndani. Na hiyo ni kusema ya kwamba tutategemea watu wenyewe binafsi. Tutategemea watu, hatuwezi kutegemea polisi kufuata watu hati wawe wamevaa mask. Hatuwezi kutegemea polisi kulinda wewe kutoka kwa mwenzio. Ni wewe ujilinde na mwenzio ajilinde. Serikali haiwezi kuwa na askari milioni 47 ati kila mtu mmoja ako na askari moja wa kumfuata. Hapana, sio hivyo jameni. Vile tunasema, Rais vile anasema ni kwamba tunataka kila mtu awe ni askari wa mwenyewe. Kila mtu. Ndio hii vita, kwa sababu ni vita na ni vita kali. Kila mtu awe ni askari katika hii vita ambayo tunayo. Hiyo sio vita, hii si vita ya serikali. Hii ni vita ya wananchi. Hii ni vita ya mwananchi binafsi. Na tutashinda kwa sababu kila mtu amechukua usukani wa kujilinda, kulinda familia na kulinda mwenzake. Kwa hivyo nimeshukuru sana na nimesema asante. Vita, kwa sababu ni vita na ni vita kali. Kila mtu awe ni askari katika hii vita ambayo tunayo. Hiyo sio vita, hii si vita ya serikali. Hii ni vita ya wananchi. Hii ni vita ya mwananchi binafsi.
And this is in regard to the public appeal you are making. At one point, naitwa Ayub kutoka Ibru TV. You are calling for a public appeal, and it's worrying, isn't it, that even as you call for this public appeal and the commitment by the public, that largely a lion's share of the Kenyan population is not adhering to your own guidelines that you have laid out. And then two, today we have recorded the highest number, and the president on Saturday hinted at the reopening of the economy. Going forward then, isn't this a worry, or is it a reveal that the capacity the government has in testing and these cases therefore cropping up? You are calling for a public appeal.
Stephen from Citizen TV. I have three quick questions, Waziri. Yesterday there were concerns that Kenyans who turn up for targeted mass testing do not give correct contact information. In the 123 positive cases that you've reported today, how many have you been able to trace all of them, or how many are still remaining, particularly in Mathare, in Nairobi, where we have 33 cases? The second question is with regard to mass testing. It appears it's through mass testing that you're able to detect the virus at a faster rate. Is there another approach on mass testing that you intend to take to ensure that you double or even triple the testing to ensure that you get all the positive cases as soon as possible? And the last question tied to that is about the reopening of the economy. You seem to paint a picture of an overwhelmed government in terms of implementing the laid down protocols. Then as a Minister of Health, have you given a green light for the reopening of the economy, given that the number are now literally running wild? Thank you. All the positive cases as soon as possible.
Right, thank you, Waziri. My name is Zainab Ismail from NTV. There is a case where there's a suspect has been charged with obtaining government PPEs through forged documents that are said to come from the Ministry of Health. And we would just like to get a brief from you on if you're aware of that case and how far that has gone from the Ministry of Health. And is this probably linked to the more than 30 staff that you transferred last month due to involvement of misappropriation of funds?
Thank you.
One last question, sir. My name is Purity Museo from KBC.
Yes, Purity.
A follow-up on yesterday's concern at KU. At Kenyatta University Referral Facility, which is a government facility, there were patients that were yet to be released to go home even after testing negative more than twice because they had been given bills. One had about 136, another one had 86,000, and up to today 3 p.m. they had not been released. Probably is there a protocol of releasing these patients in government facilities, and how is it like? Number two is on the county preparedness on the response of COVID-19. You may, if you don't mind, update us if all counties as at now have isolation and quarantine centers for COVID-19, because there are claims, especially in Kitui County, where some hospitals are let me not use the word chasing, but really asking people who are coming to seek for healthcare services to go back home because they do not know how to detect this virus. And lastly, the last time we had, sir, please, the last time we had an update regarding healthcare workers, we had 34 who had tested positive. What's the latest update?
Okay, thank you. Let me start by the first one from Ayub on the question of a public appeal and whether people are adhering to what we are saying. Now, I will continue to make public appeals because perhaps those who had not heard yesterday will hear it today. Because the reason why we make these public appeals continuously is because of what I have just said. This is not a fight for the government. Right? It is not a fight for the government. And in fact, when Steve was talking about an overwhelmed government, and they're kind of tied up together, the government is not overwhelmed. You can only be overwhelmed in a fight against something. All right? You can only be overwhelmed if you are fighting a war across the border, which we are not. This is a war against the disease. And the people supposed to fight the disease is not the government. It is you and I. So if indeed we are overwhelmed, it is not the government that will be overwhelmed. It is we Kenyans who will be overwhelmed, because it is Kenyans who have let it happen, not the government that has let it happen. I think that's the first thing to note. That in this is a very unique circumstance. It's such a unique circumstance where the role of the government is simply to appeal to people to protect themselves. The government cannot. It is not a sieve. There is an attack against Kenyans from an outside source, and the government can get its forces and go there and fight. It's not quite like that. There's a situation where the defense force is an individual himself or herself. That is the defense force. So if there is an issue of adhering and people do not adhere, the sufferer again is an individual himself or herself. That's the person who suffers. And you can imagine, sometimes, unfortunately, as you said, watu wa Kenya saa ingine hawasikii. It's a fact. It is because of our indiscipline. And I have said before, and I have told Kenyans, that there are certain countries where they do not have quarantine facilities, they do not have isolation facilities, they only have treatment facilities. The reason being that when a person is told to go and quarantine themselves, they do. And my hope and prayer is that because we have been talking about this thing for the last 3 months, and because everybody now knows that we have a serious situation, and we are faced by a very serious invisible enemy, our supposition as a government is that Kenyans have now become of age and they have seen what can happen, and therefore when we say go and self-quarantine, they will self-quarantine. Because if you don't self-quarantine, it's your family that you're exposing, and it's your family that you kill. Let's not, bury our heads to the ground like proverbial ostriches. Let us be honest with ourselves that if people are going to die, they will have been killed by other people, and they will be killed by ourselves, not anybody, not any strangers. Number two, in terms of Steve, you spoke about the reason why we have 123, because we have over 3,000. That is correct. That would be correct. The more you test, the more you are likely to see the level of infections in the country. It does not necessarily mean that if you test 4,000, for example, in Moyale, or you test 4,000 in a county that doesn't have infections, then you'll get a higher figure. Not necessarily. Because of targeted testing, because we are going to where we have got contacts of contacts, that is why we are getting the kind of figures that we are getting. We are not overwhelmed. Far from it. We continue to increase our capacity and ability to test, depending on a number of factors, starting with the availability of reagents to test. Our increasing capacity depends on the global market of supply of some of these products that we use for testing. We are increasing our own internal human capacity to test, both at the country and the county levels. So this is likely to go up. And as it goes up, then we will be able to continue being in a better place to know how far has it permeated, within, outside the country, outside the counties, within Nairobi, within the specific areas. And therefore, in terms of the reopening of the economy, a lot will also depend on some of these variables that we are talking about. And we have to weigh. If there are areas that have no infections, then maybe there is no point of containing those situations. If there are other areas in smaller units that have got a spread of disease, maybe it might be important to contain that specific area. We are not committing ourselves right now to anything specific. We are simply saying that there has to be some sort of balance between activities to keep people alive socially and economically, and activities to keep them safe, so that we don't all perish. Yes, it is quite possible that we are going to even triple. I mean, if you remember, we started at 500, 100, 500. We are now at 3,000. I don't know what percentage that one is, because it is way more than triple. Let me first respond to the issue of KU. Again, we continue to monitor who can pay, who is not able to pay, and quite frankly, we have virtually released any person who has been unable to pay their bills. We just don't want people also to take advantage of our institutions. But clearly, if they are not able to pay, what I can tell you is that they will be allowed to leave. The ability of purity, you are talking about the ability of governors, the ability of the situation in various counties. And I want to put my brothers who are governors of various counties on the spot on this one. The level of preparedness per county is dependent on the ability of the governor of the county. Let me make it clear. We, as a Ministry of Health, we will guide as much as we can. We will provide as much support as we can. But let us never forget that health is a devolved function. And that is why you will see different levels of preparedness at different counties. And I have reported in this presser how we have been how we have admired what some of the governors have done. I mean, imagine with all the figures that we are reporting in Mombasa, that the Mombasa County government is still containing the situation on their own to a large extent. That health is a devolved function. And that is why you will see different levels of preparedness at different counties. And I have reported in this presser how we have been how we have admired what some of the governors have done. I mean, imagine with all the figures that we are reporting in Mombasa, that the Mombasa County government is still containing the situation on their own to a large extent. That health is a devolved function. And that is why you will see different levels of preparedness at different counties. And I have reported in this presser how we have been how we have admired what some of the governors have done. I mean, imagine with all the figures that we are reporting in Mombasa, that the Mombasa County government is still containing the situation on their own to a large extent.
I messed everything up. They fought and fought and fought and yelled, and they just yelled, and I think I just made everything worse.
Look, maybe. You can't run away from your problems. You need to face it. Sometimes people are not going to come together. Just be yourself.
And fought and yelled, and just yelled.
Abe?
give you some space, okay?
Maybe sometimes life gets really ugly before it gets pretty. Featuring American Brooklyn this summer. Yucalatkas, chocolate matzah, and schwakos. You're all invited.
Tapioca, latte de mandioca, maçã de chocolate, choco, oh, tapioca.
Would you like tapioca?
De tapioca, oh tapioca, oh tapioca, tapioca verdadeira, oh churrascos, oh lácteos de tapioca.
Who's the chef? Chico. Chico. Yes, the top.
What are these seeds in here?
They're hemp seeds.
There they are. Hey.
And dragon fruit.
Oh, you look so cute in your apron. Let me see. Oh.